Welcome to another of the LEARN-in-BYTES series, an initiative of the Caribbean Center for Organizational Excellence. In this segment, we look at managing change, and in more specific, we will consider 7 important guidelines which we hope will be able to assist you in effectively managing change in your business. We get going by considering the defining context of change. When we talk about change, we are talking about a general transition of something or some phase to another state or condition. We're talking about it being modified or transformed. Some sort of alteration or adjustment takes place. The process, in effect, becomes different compared to the past state or condition that it has been in. As well, within the context of change, development of any kind is very dependent on and directly related to change. Now, that's not to say that all change gives effect to development, but importantly, development of any kind is very dependent on and directly related to change. As well, managing change is probably among the most important skills required to avoid and manage some of the challenges that we are likely to encounter on a daily basis, be it in life or in business. And as well, change in this regard is often perceived as difficult as it alters the known and comfortable and beckons to the little known and untested. And it is for this reason that there is usually measured opposition to change. And that's fine. Where there's uncertainty and ambiguity about proposed change, people will, either aggressively or very passively oppose it. It is that requires management. The reality, however, is that whether we like it or not, there are elements of change that just naturally occur and demand that we prepare for them. And whether we like it or not as well, change will keep on changing. So 7 important guidelines for effective management of change, effective change management. Firstly, change is best executed within the framework of a well thought out plan. May I suggest to you, don't wing it. Plan for change. Plan where, plan what, plan why, plan when, plan how, plan who, plan for change. This is so vitally important. Secondly, an effective change plan should at minimum include the reasons for the proposed change, the scope of that change, the costs associated with that change, if there's any, and any derivable benefits to that change. And these really should be included in the plan. Ensure that all these areas are covered in the change plan because it will make a difference in terms of the response of other key persons involved in the change process. Thirdly, change inevitably always include other people who will more often than not react differently to change. And this occurs because of cultural and other nuances that exist with us as individuals. Important in this regard is establishing some measure of process consultation and consensus building to ensure that everyone is on board with the proposed change. And I can't emphasize this enough. Ensure that there is process consultation, ensure that there is consensus building. It will make a huge difference to the outcomes of the overall change process. Take all stakeholder views into consideration. Take all reactions into consideration. Do not minimize any stakeholder views. Do not trivialize any reactions. It will make a big difference in the overall response to the change process. May I say again, take all stakeholder views and reactions into consideration. Fourthly, a change plan without some form of analysis will invariably result in errors. And I have seen enough times it also results in frustration and invariably higher costs and sometimes even failure of the change process or the project if the changes attached to a project. So including analytical components to gauge the change plan and to assess the change process is of utmost importance to the overall change management process. Fifthly, change more often than not takes time. Do not, with every change process, expect instant results. Don't rush the change process. If there is an expected time frame within which the proposed task is expected to be completed, then define that time. Make sure it is realistic, but more importantly, ensure that the task is executed on time. But please, I implore you, do not rush a process that requires time to ensure excellence in the execution and excellence to the overall change process. Sixthly, any major change will require teamwork and leadership. This too is critically important, that you delegate and you trust those who have delegated authority to execute on their particular element of the change. Don't get into their way. Once you have established some accountable measures, once you've set some standards and set some timelines, get out of the way and let other team members do what they have to do within their delegated authority. Trust them to execute. You probably would not have appointed them in the first place if they did not have the requisite skills to be involved in the change process and to successfully contribute to the change process. So set standards, set timelines, get out of the way and expect them, require of them to report to time. And once they report, manage by exception. Where there are issues that are occurring, jump in, and that's actually the space that is designed for you to jump in. Where there are exceptions or things are going off cue, jump in then and bring it back on target, bring it back in line. But please, I implore of you, allow the team to function within the delegated authority. And finally, effective change management hinges on timely, efficient, and factual communication. It is so vitally important to keep all stakeholders up to date with development within the change process. Give them the facts. Give them the facts. If the project is not moving to time, give them the facts. If it is slowed down in a specific area, give them the facts. If it is creating an issue outside of the change process, give the facts, irrespective of who the stakeholders are, be it public stakeholders who are external or internal stakeholders, team members. Provide them with the facts and ensure that they are provided with relevant information and relevant information to time. Is critically important and will make a huge difference to the overall project. So I hope these guidelines would have would assist you in a better management of change in your organization. For more information or to request any of our services, please do drop us a line at admin@organizational-excellence.com. We are also on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, or just visit us on our website www.organizational-excellence.com and have a look at some of our other initiatives, what we're doing, our contribution to the development of business and indeed the Caribbean. So until the next time, this is DaC Blenman, Executive Director of the Caribbean Center for Organizational Excellence, wishing you a fabulous day. Take care now and the very best.